Starting with the Buffalo Bills, some of their major losses include Amari Cooper, Von Miller, Rasul Douglas, Mac Hollins, Sam Martin, and Kaiir Elam. But they did extend Josh Allen, Greg Rousseau, Terrell Bernard, Khalil Shakir, and Christian Benford, while re-signing DeMar Hamlin and Matt Milano. Other than that, they didn't add anybody too major besides Joey Bosa, of course, but it was only a one-year deal. But they did sign a couple more depth pieces at defensive back, as well as a replacement for Mac Hollins in Joshua Palmer. Overall, I mean, they didn't lose too much. They still have the draft, obviously. And, I mean, they had some good moves. Obviously, Josh Allen extension, that's very good. Greg Rousseau extension. And I think I'm going to probably give them about a B+, A-, that type of range. I'll go officially B+, because it wasn't anything too major, but it wasn't anything too bad. And now for the Dolphins, some of their major losses include Jordan Poyer, Kendall Fuller, Braxton Berrios, Raheem Mostert, Javon Holland, and Calais Campbell. But they did bring back guys such as Kader Kohu, Dwayne Eskridge, Terrell Dodson, Bradley Chubb, and Benito Jones. But they did have quite a few quality signings that are at the very least going to be solid starters, such as James Daniels and Larry Borum on the offensive line, Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, who had like a crazy amount of touchdowns for how many catches he had last year at wide receiver, as well as another pass catcher in Pharaoh Brown, Alexander Madison, of course everybody's favorite, Zach Wilson. But probably the best player that they added was Ryan Stonehouse, who is one of the best punters in the league, so I like that deal by the Dolphins, but it was only a one-year deal to basically compete with Jake Bailey, so he's probably going to be starting. But in terms of a grade, I mean, they didn't make too many big moves. They lost a decent amount of players. They, didn't re-sign any big names. It's not like the Dolphins' maximum is now all of a sudden going to be a Super Bowl, obviously, unless if Tua doesn't get hurt and goes crazy. So, it's just a very neutral offseason, and in terms of where they are as a team, it's not great, but it's all right. I think they're going to have to do some better stuff in the draft, but I'll give it a B+, because I do like some of their signings, such as Nick Westbrook-Ikhine and Ryan Stonehouse. But now for the New England Patriots, who have looked very fun after this offseason, adding a ton of quality guys. Stephon Diggs, Harold Landry, Robert Spillane, Carlton Davis, Morgan Moses, Milton Williams, Mac Hollins. They brought back Austin Hooper, Clavon Chason, Marcus Epps, Garrett Bradbury. Overall, they got a very good haul. Of course, they did lose some guys like Jawan Bentley, David Andrews, Sion Takitaki, but they replaced him pretty well. In terms of a grade, especially, with Stephon Diggs, especially being excited to play with a rookie, well, not a rookie anymore, but, with a young quarterback, I really like where this team is headed. I think in minimum 3 years, they should probably be in the playoffs, and I could totally see them making a surprise run next year, and I think this free agency is going to be a big part of that, and I think I'm probably going to give them an A+. They did lose some guys, obviously, but for that young of a team to have that good of an offseason, I'm pretty excited for how the Patriots are going to shape out. Now for the New Jersey Jets, with some of their big moves being Andre Sisco, Brandon Stevens, Josh Myers, Jamin Davis, Josh Reynolds, Tyler Johnson, Jamie Sherwood, and obviously the big one, Justin Fields, who will most definitely probably be starting for them unless if injury, they draft someone, but he's certainly going to be their starter heading into next year. And in terms of losses, they lost Tyrone Smith, Chuck Clark, Hassan Reddick, who, didn't even play for him damn near, Tyler Conklin, Javon Kinlaw, Solomon Thomas, Ashton Davis, DJ Reed, Kenny Yeboah, Morgan Moses, Lecky Fotu, and Devontae Adams. So overall, of course the losses aren't great. It was a pretty solid, not earth-shattering by any means. And I really like Justin Fields anyway. I don't know if he's going to be able to thrive in this type of situation, though. The Jets are just a cursed team, but they have a solid, all-right roster. The defense could be really good. I think the offense could be really good at any given moment as well. So overall, obviously they lost probably about the same amount of quality as they've gained. So I'll go B. Now heading over to the AFC North, we got the Ravens, who signed players such as Chidobe Awuzie, DeAndre Hopkins, and Ben Cleveland, as well as re-signing guys like Ardarius Washington, Patrick Ricard, and Ronnie Stanley. They did lose Brandon Stevens, Patrick McCarry, Nelson Aguilar, Tre'Davious White, who I didn't even realize was on the Ravens, but they lost him, and Deontay Johnson, but who really wants Deontay Johnson at this point? But I mean, for a championship team, there's not too much they can do. I mean, they got, Lamar, just another weapon to play with, and DeAndre Hopkins, and, bringing back Talon Wallace. They did what they needed to do. Nothing crazy. There's not too much else to say, but I mean, it's not like I think this is going to what puts them into Super Bowl contention, which, they always are, but, actually put them into the Super Bowl. I think it's more just going to be how they actually play, especially with, new young guys in the draft. So, for free agency specifically, I'll go a B-. Could have been better, could have been worse, but overall it was solid. Now for the Cincinnati Bengals, of course they lost Sam Hubbard, Mike Hilton, Von Bell, Katie York, and Sheldon Rankins. But of course they re-signed guys like Ryan Rico, Cam Sample, Joseph Asai, Mike Gesicki, BJ Hill, and of course the big two, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. We're also picking up Samaje Perine and Oren Burks. And me personally, I don't, at least from a financial business-like mindset of the T. Higgins and Jamar Chase re-signings, I don't know. They're two very, very good players, and I love how T. Higgins didn't want more money and, fired his agent to be with Jamar Chase. That's incredible, and I love that. But, the only thing that's going to really do is leave less money for other parts of the team, which for me, of course, the camaraderie, that's all awesome. That could work. They've already made a Super Bowl together. But, Tom Brady took pay cuts to win, 7 Super Bowls. So, winning, unless if you're, the most extreme example is, of course, the Eagles. We have a top 10 paid, I believe, quarterback and receiver. Those teams, besides Patrick Mahomes, usually don't win, big games. Dak Prescott, Jordan Love. Of course, Jordan Love is a new one. But Dak Prescott, he's one of the highest paid players ever, and he hasn't won dog shit. So from at least that perspective, I don't think it's going to, I just don't know how it's going to help them in, the playoffs. Of course, they always get new guys in the draft, and, they did lose some guys. They didn't sign too many. I just think with, signing that big of a contract to 2 wide receivers, I just don't see a realistic world where it ends up working out in even one Super Bowl. But, it's still really cool. I love it. But I don't know. It sucks to grade this low, but realistically, I think I should. Because, they more lost than they won this free agency, I'd say. So I'll go C+, because they're still a championship contender. They only won 9 games, but a lot of weird shit was happening, so I'm not gonna put any of that against them. So it was all right. And now for the God-fearing, freedom-loving Cleveland Browns. What a team, really, what a team. Some of their many losses this offseason include Jameis Winston, DTR, Deontay Foreman, Rodney McLeod, Nyheim Hines, Elijah Moore. Nick Chubb hasn't even been re-signed. They even lost Jedrick Wills. They did re-sign Devin Bush, Jack Conklin, and of course, Myles Garrett, who I definitely have opinions on. Not him personally, but this re-signing I definitely do. But holding on for a second, they did get Tevin Jenkins, Cornelius Lucas, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, Malik Collins, and Jerome Baker. But, this team, I've even seen rumors of how they're already trying to tank for Arch Manning, so that's awesome. There's still a chance he's not even going to go into the draft after next season, which, who knows at this point. He hasn't played real starting college football, but yeah, this team is really just a dumpster fire overall. I just feel bad for Myles Garrett, man. Of course, he signed it. He got all this money, but he's not winning anything now. He's probably going to be around for life, which is obviously a great thing, but it's going to turn into one of those situations. A Barry Sanders, a Calvin Johnson, a Joe Thomas. Man, it's unfortunate that money moves so much of the stuff in this world, but it definitely did for Myles Garrett. Clearly, all of his statements about I want to win were not true when you just shove a ton of money in his face, which again, is fair, but like, that's so unfortunate still. Browns really just, they're not winning anything for a while. I mean, I guess they might pick up, Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward, but I've looked at a lot of mock drafts. It's looking likely more for Abdul Carter, which would be nasty with him and Myles Garrett. But, like, I don't know. Still not a good free agency by any means. I'll go D+, because, I mean, he still kept Myles Garrett, which is very impressive. Now for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They re-signed a couple of receivers in Ben Skowronek and Scotty Miller, as well as signing Juan Thornhill, Brandon Echols, Mason Rudolph, Darius Slay, Kenny Gainwell, and obviously big old DK Metcalf. While they did lose guys like Van Jefferson, Dan Moore, Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, James Daniels, Nate Herbig, Najee Harris, Dante Jackson, Mike Williams, and Larry Ogunjobi, and a few others. So, I mean, they lost a lot, they gained a bit. I mean, it's just, again, questionable move with the Russell Wilson and Justin Fields situation. Letting both of them go? It's stupid. It's just downright stupid, is what it is. Like, if they don't even get Aaron Rodgers, which is looking possible, then what, they're going to draft a new guy? They're not going to have DK Metcalf and the punchy guy and not have a good quarterback. They have freaking Mason Rudolph. They're not having DK Metcalf. Like, there's no way they're doing that. They have to go for Rodgers or a rookie. But, I mean, again, most of the time, starting a rookie immediately does not work out. Of course, they have a good team. They have a playoff team. But they got rid of two good quarterbacks, at least quarterbacks that can help, develop a new guy. But they got rid of them both. Downright stupidity, in my opinion. Of course, DK Metcalf, great player, but guys, it's crazy in my opinion. But I mean, there's totally a chance it could work out. But for a grade, I think I'll just go with C, because I mean, they obviously gained guys, but still, if you didn't sign DK, this would probably be a D+. And now for the Houston Texans. They signed Cam Robinson, Laken Tomlinson, Tremont Smith, Braxton Berrios, Sheldon Rankins, Justin Watson, Dare Ogunbowale, my bad. While also re-signing Derek Stingley and Danielle Hunter. But for their losses, they did lose Jeff Okudah, Stephon Diggs, obviously, Kenyon Green, Laramie Tunsil, Kendrick Green, and Robert Woods. So a lot of losses, especially on the offensive line. But, I mean, they didn't really make that up in terms of signings. Obviously, Laken Tomlinson and Cam Robinson are good, but they still lost Laramie Tunsil, which is very rough. But for a letter grade, however, I think I'll probably go like a D+, C-. Nothing special, just a lot of losses overall. Now for the Indianapolis Colts, they signed Daniel Jones, obviously, Charvarius Ward, Cam Bynum, Corey Ballantyne, Khalil Herbert, Tyler Goodson, Wesley French, and Ashton Dulin, which, I mean, for a lot of the defense guys, I love. They did lose Will Fries, Ryan Kelly, EJ Speed, Grant Stewart, Kyle Granson, Deo Odeyingbo, I think I said that right, Mo Alley Cox, Joe Flacco, Roquan Davis, Julian Blackman, and Trey Sermon. So, I mean, definitely some losses. But their defensive signings, like Cam Bynum and Charvarius Ward, absolutely love both of those. I think it's incredible. Obviously, Danny Dimes, it's an interesting one. But it's a better contract than what the Giants gave him, so I guess that's a positive. But I guess now a QB battle between AR-15 and Daniel Jones, so that'll be very interesting. But overall, for a letter grade, it was pretty middle of the road in terms of signings and losses. So I'll just do a B. I think that works. I like their signings. They did lose some guys. I'll do B-, but I still really like their signings anyway. Now for the Jacksonville Jaguars, they signed Jordan Lewis, Eric Murray, Patrick Mercari, Robert Hainsey, De'Ami Brown, and Fred Johnson, while they only re-signed Cole Van Lennon and Luke Fortner. But they did lose Ronald Darby, Christian Kirk, Andre Sisco, Josh Reynolds, Evan Ingram, Devin Duvernay, Mac Jones, Brandon Sheriff, and Mitch Morse. I really like the signings of Jordan Lewis, Eric Murray, and Patrick Mercari. But everything else was, I mean, they lost a lot of guys, but it's a young team, and Trevor Lawrence is still there, which for some teams that would have not happened. But, I mean, it's just rough to be a Jags fan right now. But, I mean, they're going to be staying in Jacksonville, so I guess just a lot more pain is coming your way, Jacksonville. So, I mean, it wasn't great. I'll do C-. Now for the final signings in the South, we got the Tennessee Titans, who signed Xavier Woods, Kevin Zeitler, Dermont Jones, Van Jefferson, Dan Moore, Sebastian Joseph Day was coming back, Johnny Hecker, Cody Barton, and Morgan Cox. However, they lost Mason Rudolph, Dylan Raduns, Chidobe Awuzie, Jack Gibbons, Harold Landry, Ryan Stonehouse, Nick Westbrook-Ikeen, Kenneth Murray, Jerome Baker. I mean, again, just not a good team, but they have the number 1 overall draft pick, so that's good for them. I think they made good moves to start building for the future. You know, Xavier Woods, Kevin Zeitler, Dermont Jones. I really like that one. I think that's my favorite for them. Or even Dan Moore. But still, I mean, QB situation is going to be interesting. They're probably going to be, obviously, bringing in Cam Ward, potentially Shador. Oh, do not mind that voice crack. But it's probably going to be Cam Ward, so mayonnaise man versus Cam Ward. It'll be interesting. But unfortunately for Cam Ward, probably unfortunately, he will be starting for this team. But I mean, they're doing some of the right things, signing offensive line, you know, beefing up the defense. But, I mean, so far it's been a pretty meh overall free agency. I'll go a C+, however, because, I mean, lost a lot of guys, added some good guys, evens out C+, B-. I'll go C+. Now for the final division, we got the Denver Broncos, who signed Evan Ingram, Trent Sherfield, Drake Greenlaw, Talanoa Hufanga, DJ Jones, and Michael Burton. So, I mean, a lot of guys that I really like. DJ Jones, Talanoa Hufanga, Dre Greenlaw. Those are incredible moves. And Evan Ingram, I mean, he was the best tight end in the league 2 years ago. He obviously fell off fast, but he's still good, and I think they got him on a very good contract. They did lose, however, Cody Barton, Lil Jordan Humphrey, Zach Wilson, Javonte Williams, Riley Dixon. But I mean, this Broncos team surprisingly made the playoffs, obviously. Bo Nix, he's looking good, and I think they're in a position to make another run. But, I mean, so far in the Sean Payton area, it's been confusing at best, so I could see him missing it for, like, the Dolphins or something, you know. But in terms of this free agency, I think I'll probably go B+, because they lost guys, but I really, really, really like the guys that they replaced him with. So, yeah, good on you, Broncos. But now for the reigning AFC champs, the Chiefs signed Jerry Tillery, Gardner Minshew, Christian Fulton, Elijah Mitchell, and Jalen Moore, while they re-signed Matt Araiza, Trey Smith, Juju Smith-Schuster, Kareem Hunt, Mike Pennell, Nick Bolton, and Charles Omenihu. But for their losses, they did lose the Ginger Carson Wentz, Jody Fortson, Joe Tooney, Samaje Perine, Josh Uche, Derek Nottie, Mecole Hardman, D-Hop, Justin Reed, and Justin Watson. Some rough losses. Justin Reed definitely hurts. D-Hop, I mean, he was alright for him. But, I mean, Derek Nottie, that's not great. Especially Joe Tooney. That's a very rough one to lose. I mean, they could have gave up 52 of their players, and if they had Patrick Mahomes, I would probably still have them as Super Bowl contenders. So, I mean, Mahomes is just that good. I do not think off-season, regular season, even draft, none of it matters. The Chiefs are always going to be a problem and will probably be in the AFC Championship game again. Who knows if they're going to lose to the Bills or something, but there is a very good chance that they are going to be in the Super Bowl for a fourth time, as, I mean, just a lot of good moves. This is how they've stayed relevant, and, I mean, nothing special, nothing bad. I'll go B. I'll go B-. They definitely lost more than they won. And for the Las Vegas Raiders, they signed Raheem Mostert, Eric Stokes, Lonnie Johnson, Jeremy Chin, Alex Kappa, and Geno Smith. However, they lost Clavon Chason, Robert Spillane, Marcus Epps, Trevon Morg, Nate Hobbs, Divine Diablo, Harrison Bryant, Alexander Madison, Gardner Minshew, Andre James, Terrace Marshall Jr., Amir Abdullah, Cody Whitehair, and a couple more. But they did obviously re-sign Max Crosby, Michael Kuntz, and a few others as well. So, I mean, they lost a lot, but I think, honestly, their gains might be better than what they lost. I mean, obviously they lost a ton, and I think, I mean, losing Trevon Moore, Nate Hobbs, Divine Diablo, there's a ton of key pieces. Robert Spillane, that's pretty rough. But Geno Smith, I think he's really good. I think he's going to do good stuff here. I think they're going to be competing for the playoffs, at least until like week 16 minimum. I think they're going to be good. They have good players. So, I mean, it's going to be down to the draft to get some more of those good players. I mean, they have the best tight end in the league. So, and one of the best defensive linemen. So, it was a good free agency. I'll go B- because they definitely lost a ton of quality pieces, but they gained a lot as well. But now for the final team of this video, we have the Los Angeles Chargers, as they gained Tyler Conklin, Andre James, Mekhi Becton, Deshaun Hand, Mike Williams, again, Benjamin St-Juste, Najee Harris, Dante Jackson, Khalil Mack, Taylor Heineke, Denzel Perryman, J.K. Scott, but for their losses they did lose Poona Ford, Morgan Fox, Christian Fulton, Simi Fehoko, Joey Bosa, Josh Palmer, Asante Samuel Jr., J.K. Dobbins, Marcus May, and I mean, the Chargers, they have one of the best quarterback talents in the league. Obviously, everybody's been saying it, but I don't know if it's just the fact that they're the Chargers or what it is, but I mean, they had a good one. Obviously, kept Khalil Mack, lost Joey Bosa. That type of stuff has to happen. But I mean, adding Najee Harris, I really like that. And I don't get getting rid of J.K. Dobbins. He was incredible. So I mean, that's obviously pretty strange. Even just to have it, like 2 running backs, they're good. Kenny Gainwell was an awesome backup to Saquon Barkley. Why are you getting rid of those types of guys? But I don't know. I think it was good. I'll go B. It was in the middle of the road, I'd say. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I guess I'll see you in the NFC one.